Hey, this bum is trying to stop the live stream for coming through. Stay with us. We doing what we doing here. Welcome to Casino Arena. And we're going to get into all of this. Stay tuned. Hi, I'm Carcino. Oh, let's talk about it. Let's talk about it.
No one knows Carcino and none of these.
There's so much going on in the world, and I'm just giving my 2 cents on it. Go in and do a raid at someone's house, but you don't have an arrest warrant for them. Here it is. We are here. That's right. Lebron James has once again done it. First, they tried to stop me from getting in here. We had to go through everything just to get this thing booted up. Now they finna try to spam it as much as they possible so can nobody see the video. We know they tactics, but we here. Right? They wanted to drive everybody off this morning because they didn't want y'all seeing this video, but you're going to see it anyway. Now, here's the news. Lebron James is going on podcasts crying about playing 82 games and how it's hard and this season and this era and what they're doing now. How it's so different from what anybody else in the world has been doing forever. That's what we're dealing with right now. We dealing with that, LeBron. So now we all got to sit here like little children and put our hands together and basically just be grateful and thankful that Lebron James has graced us with his presence and gave us words of wisdom as he tries to justify himself on this show, mining the game, which now is just him just BSing.
Injuries that's happened now. I hope we can get a handle on that as well, because that's big in our game. I think when I first came into the league, Reese, like some of the biggest concerns of injuries was like, a high ankle sprain. You was afraid to step on somebody's ankle because there was 4 or 5 guys sitting in the paint. So, guys with athleticism, myself, Tracy McGrady, Vince Carter, to name a couple guys, sometimes you're afraid to take off into the lane because there was 4 or 5 guys sitting in the paint. If you land on somebody's ankle, you get a high ankle sprain, you out 4 to 6 weeks. Now that's not really much of you don't really see that as much now because the game is so spread open, it's so much pace. But now you see the new high ankle sprain is the calf.
Right.
So, hopefully we could get a handle on that from a medical standpoint. But it's just a game. I just want the fans to understand that the game is a little different. And, as NBA players, we definitely want to be out there.
Now, a lot of old school.
Now, once he said the game was different, right? The game was different. And he's complaining about how back in those days, they could actually play that many games, right? Oh, those guys, they could play that. Those guys could play back in the days. This ain't the same game. Now the calf injury is the new high ankle sprain. Why is it that? Do you know why that is? Now, it's a problem. You say that when there's a guy proving you wrong right now by the guy name of Miles Bridges. Bridges has played every game in college, every game in high school, every game in the NBA. And he's a starter. And every night he's playing 30 plus minutes. So don't tell me it can't be done in this era when someone in this era is doing it. Well, Mikal Bridges, Miles Bridges, it don't matter. So if it's being done already, and he ain't doing it because it's fashionable, he's doing it because he don't like to miss a game. He played 4 years in college, and he didn't miss a game? He didn't miss a game in the pros. All the years he's played has been 82. He hasn't missed a game. So now, because he hasn't missed a game, all of the results of the game is starting to turn around and have an effect on everything we know and believe. Oh, absolutely. Now, what else could be said here? I think that when we look at it, we're going to notice a few things here. The reason why people are getting hurt now more than ever is not because of the tempo. This man said the tempo of the game. Once again, can you believe that? Isaiah Lord Thomas III. Let's go back there. Let's highlight this because this man participated in the largest scoring game in the NBA history. 370 points, 3 overtimes on my birthday. Denver played against Denver. Denver and their offense played fast, faster than any team LeBron James has ever been on. Playing at a pace way faster than LeBron James has ever been accustomed to playing. If you don't believe it, go watch it. That system that they had was go, go, go. Isaiah had 47, 17, and 5 with 4 steals and a block, shooting 52% from the field, 50% from 3. And they just act like Isaiah was some guy. But it's funny how the young people are. But let's take a look at that. That's 1983. Second is Sacramento and the Clippers in 2023 that went to 2 overtimes. Kings and Clippers, right? Next is 1982. San Antonio versus Milwaukee, 3 overtimes, 337 points. It's 1982. The next game is March 1st, 2019. Chicago versus Atlanta went to 4 overtimes. 4 overtimes, and they didn't even crush the number 1 spot. 1990, Golden State at Denver, 320 points. Now, Denver, the way they played was very high pace. And they were going to keep the tempo up and run all day long and try to outscore you rather than try to stop you on defense. and the scores used to be incredibly high. And remember, they weren't shooting three-pointers like that. You might see 5 attempts from one team in a game. Wasn't a lot of threes shot. So when you keep saying the game and the tempo is faster now than it was back then, you don't know what you're talking about, LeBron. If you understood what the game was really about, then you would know, but you don't. It's asinine to believe now in today's game, the reason that guys are getting injured is the tempo. That is the young mentality way of not looking back in the past. You're just talking off what you assume. You assume things are better because it's newer and it's what you guys are doing now. So you assume it's better. No. Here's the problem, LeBron. They played different. Guys actually ran plays. They actually ran through, they cut, they played the game. There wasn't a lot of wear and tear on your calves. It's the style of play that you're doing. Instead of going up and down, you guys are going more left to right, which tears on your ACL, it tears on your calves, it tears on everything, your legs, it destroys it. Because what you're doing is all of this, I'm going to break your ankles and I'm going to hurt and jerk. You're not only destroying the person's defending you knees, you're tearing your knees up as well. All the stop and cuts and stop and all this jerky stuff, that's what's messing you up. You look at people like Tyrese Halliburton. You look at people like Jason Tatum, all this, I got to cross you, here, step up, step back, take 2 steps back and shoot. You're tearing your knees up. You're not running or playing the game in a controlled setting of moving the ball. You're playing one-on-one ISO ball. And when you play ISO ball one-on-one, you're just tearing your body down. Using your team is what helps get you into a flow of the game where it's not a lot of leg injuries. All you had was really people stepping on your foot, your ankles. You didn't have a lot of ACL injuries. It wasn't because of the speed of the game. They played more. The game was way more physical. The time of playing was 12 years, 13 years, and then you were retired. You didn't play. Now you guys are playing 20 plus years from lack of contact. They're light practices. There's light everything now. So everything has been laxed for you. You have a personal trainer, personal spa. You have everything for you to be great. Everything. There's no excuse. There's zero excuse for you to be injured. And who wasn't going for this? Kevin Garnett and Byron Scott. Listen to B. Scott, man.
Than it was back in the day, bro. Not even close. The fast break.
Listen, I'm a big LeBron fan. I don't think he's the greatest that ever played, but I'm a big LeBron fan. But that was laughable to me.
Damn.
When I heard that, I said, "Wait a minute. So you're saying that it's easier to play in the '80s than it is today?"
Did you ever see the Celtics and Lakers and the Kirk Rambis fouls and all those stuff?
You guys are trying to take each other's heads off.
You never saw the Pistons play back then?
Yeah.
No, and it's Chick Hearn's on saying no blood, no foul. You get up, you shoot your free throws, you keep playing. The game was so much more physical then. Now you could sit back and say, well, the score wasn't as high. Go back and look. Our scoring. We had probably between 12 to 15 teams averaging over 100 points a game. So the pace of the game was just as fast as it is today. I don't think the guys, we played 94 feet because everything was predicated on getting the ball inside and out, right? They play 60 feet today because everything is predicated on shooting threes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, so
Don't
you're
even
not
going inside.
Yeah, you're not going up and down like we did back in the day. And
You're not getting
as far
physical in the paint.
As far as physicality of the game, it's not even close. So I just thought it was laughable, coming from one of the greatest players that ever played a game, to say that it was harder. It's harder to play now than it was then.
Are you ready to see him go from the Lakers?
Yeah. I mean, like I said, I'm a fan, but I don't mince words either. I mean, I think this should be his last year here.
Not in the NBA, just here.
No, just here.
Okay.
I really.
You don't got to go home, but you got to go.
It's Moore's Day. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to go home, but you got to get the hell out of here.
Now, that's what Byron Scott said in return. Kevin Garnett also has addressed why he feels like the modern day player gets injured so much more, because Byron Scott was right. If you go back and look at those scores and Showtime Lakers, and why do you think they were called Showtime? The tempo of the game was exceptionally fast, at those times. And
as you can see, KG gonna get real emotional about this because he's passionate about it. And once he heard LeBron say that, it really hit a nerve. And LeBron has played in the KG era to a degree. LeBron was at this point where it was still real basketball. And then 7, 8 years go by, they molded the game to what LeBron likes, because he couldn't win playing that way. There was no way he could win. He couldn't dominate. He needs to go to the paint, and there's 4 guys in the paint, and he can't dominate. He's going to look like just a regular player. And they got to make LeBron a star. He's got to be the superstar. He's the agenda. So if this the agenda and this the guy is going to lead the NBA to the future, we need this guy to be successful. We got to move this guy to the top of the game. He got to be at the top of the food chain. And once he's not at the top of the food chain, we got to have another guy in place to carry that torch for when this guy burns out. So along the way, they had to change the rules to make it easier for LeBron. So now they took away all the rules that would allow you to be near the rim. Now it's one guy there. And he still couldn't win because they just made it easier for every other team. Now imagine you got a player that's skilled. That's going to fit his game quite well. Now guys like Kawhi, who got skills, could really get to the basket. They could really shoot over guys. They got moves. So this is going to really help guys like them. This opened up the door for Golden State. It opened up the door for a lot of teams to dominate. This is why the Joker can be successful. He can't jump over a Dixie cup, but now he can get to him 10 rebounds. There's nobody down there to really box him out. You only got to worry about one person and some little bitty guards. That's it. So this allows this man to put up double-doubles. You created this lane for Giannis. Now Giannis can come in and get incredible numbers because there's nobody there to really challenge him but one guy, or he could beat his guy off the dribble, and he knows he can jump over the next guy that comes over because the other team don't even have a big guy. So you see how the levels change? You see how everything changed? Well, we got to understand that when you put these teams together, this is the levels that we're talking about. Like when we say, man, you got to hit the next level. What levels are you at? You're not reaching that peak. You stumbling at the before you get to the finish line. You looking really bad out here. So what you want to do is change it up. You want to make sure you doing the right things. You know what I'm saying? You got everything going the right way it's supposed to go. You screwing up. No, LeBron is making all these excuses. But the best analogy, and that now they all mad at Byron Scott. You got Shannon Sharp out here, of course. He coming out to defend LeBron. Scott, that's disrespectful. Everything that LeBron James did. You know, he gonna come out there sticking his big gums out. But you gotta understand something. This game is serious, especially for those who ain't played it in 30 years. They missed the game. They love the game. They love for this. That's why they do the basketball analogy, the sound of the ball, the skit, 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 skit. Like they miss that. Hearing that sound, being in the locker room, the guys back there, it's crazy. I mean, absolutely crazy. Now, Kevin Garnett came out and said the words exactly how it's supposed to sound. How it's supposed to sound. So if scoring now, when you got threes, you got all this stuff, guys are taking 33s a night, 53s a night, and you still ain't the highest scoring, all of this easy way to score, and you LeBron's struggling to get 20 points. This is telling you, dog, it's all transition, and you can't dominate in this means you don't possess the skills to dominate because you never had them, and you never tried to learn them. Had you learned these skills, you could still dominate the game, but you can't. Kawhi can come on the court, and what he does matters. He could dominate a game. And this man then had major knee surgeries, everything on his knees, but he's skilled enough to know how to play the game. With an arthritic condition in his knees, dominate. Now, Byron Scott said, I ain't saying he got to get out the league. I just don't want him on our team. You know, I think he should go play somewhere else. See, Byron Scott don't work for the Lakers anymore. You know what I'm saying? But he's Laker royalty. So he can say what he wants. LeBron can't do nothing to Byron Scott. He going to try to – they sent him a threat already. They sent him a threat like they could mess up things for Byron Scott. You know, I guess from the podcast world or whatever he's trying to get doing. But that's whole shit, in my opinion. That's whole shit. Just because that man's telling the truth and you don't like the truth he's spilling, hey, you come out with a better truth. How about that? What did he say that wasn't factual? Now listen to KG, because KG gonna really break it down for you to make it more simpler.
You know, and some of that time they didn't shoot a lot of three balls. They didn't shoot a lot, especially don't quote me, I'm not looking it up, maybe 79, somewhere in there. So they didn't
talking about the lack of calf raises for some of the players to end their talking about the lack of calf
time. Now, let's listen to what KG had to say about why he feels like the players are always injured.
Talking about the lack of calf raises for some of the players to end their workout. Bro, we used to end a workout, especially on a leg day, calf raises. This is how I'm speeding up, this is how I'm stopping, this is my whole wiggle. If your calves ain't here, and on top of whenever I go to finish, I gotta be athletic enough to finish, right? Bro, when you start breaking that down, like this is what Ticket talk about that they out of shape. We practiced every day. We went up and down every day. Like a game. Like a game. So we 5-on-5 pretty much the whole season. With drills. With drills. And so now they come in and they doing a lot of individual work. With a trainer. You know, so a lot of our shit was game speed. Right. With a trainer. And then in the summer, at half speed. Right. For 30 minutes. Right. But then they're going to go play a 2-hour fucking game and think they going to play. In the summer, we played ball. Ball. Like, we played 5-on-5. For 7 hours. In the summer, they individual work every day. For 30 minutes. with one trainer.
Yeah.
I think that's going to be the same shit. Like, what are we talking about here? Bro, motherfucker do a whole workout an hour by himself. I come in here, it's 5 niggas in one workout doing 30 minutes. Bro, this is not the same shit, bro.
Exactly. And this exactly what the problem is. The problem is you, LeBron. Y'all sit there, your passive aggressive way of preparing for the game. You're working out one-on-one with a trainer for 30 minutes. They play ball for 7 hours straight, running 5-on-5s. Y'all not doing that. Y'all not doing calf raises. Y'all not working on legs. Y'all not doing all of this. This is why you have the injuries you have. You could tell who's been putting in the work and who haven't. LeBron is a guy who's putting in the bare minimum. They were in shape because you needed to be.
Then he gonna go run Red Mountain and try to kill himself.
Yeah, that's why I wanted to bring up. Ticket, you had a pretty memorable.
I gotta guard a Tracy McGrady. I gotta guard a real nigga in fourth quarter, and I'm tired of my legs done. How do I simulate that? I gotta go play against people like this, and then I gotta take my body and try to kill it. Because when you listen, I'm gonna tell you something. This is what them motherfuckers don't tell you about game 4 or game 5 or game 7. When you in mud and they come down to LO and they call in a triangle, you got to stop LO from get Lloyd, and I'm stuck in mud and my legs ain't even, and then, you know what I'm saying? Like, and then I get to the huddle and 3-4 niggas is falling out. Motherfuckers don't want to play no more. Like, bro, you can't simulate this. This is the foxhole you in. So you try to put yourself in simulate. He would go to, what's the dunes you go to?
Oh, yeah, the dunes over there in Manhattan Beach.
I'm going to the opposite dune where it look like a whole mountain. Yeah. He doing that when I'm doing this one. We both talking shit about what it take to get to the top. He talking about how he threw up. I talking about how I threw up coming down. He threw up on the way up. Like, Lord, who training like this? And why y'all training like that? Guess what? We get to the fourth quarter, we looking fresh. We dapping. Yeah, nigga, you remember that? Right. Yeah, I'm with you, nigga. Let's get him in. Like, you know what I'm talking about? You feel what I'm saying? So that's what we doing.
So KG?
So, exactly. KG explained that to perfection. You want to know why guys are getting hurt? It's how you training. You guys ain't training for the game you are playing. Y'all do these little light ass workouts and then you get in the game. It's not the same. This is what he's saying. It's not the. This is why he's so passionate. This is why he's mad. This is why Byron Scott wants you off the team. This is why everybody think like, man, after this season, he should be gone. Like, don't bring him back. Go somewhere else. Go to another team. They don't want you. KG was livid. He was livid because he's passionate about it. And then you see somebody like this parade around. It's insulting. It's insulting to the game. I would be super insulted to see this dude in there. Oh yeah, man, I was supposed to do the video last night, but it was gonna be too late, and I knew most of y'all was asleep. Because I was gonna do it last night, and I passed out, went to sleep. So when I woke up, I just started doing the other stuff, and I said, "Oh, I ain't forget it." Oh, Cade exposed everything, dog. Cade exposed Brunson, Shea, all of them. Remember when I told you Brunson canceled and they went with Cade? Cade replaced Brunson? Oh, yeah, it went down. Cade, I see why Brunson canceled. And they jealous of the Detroit Pistons because the Pistons are getting all the credit. It's all the national media is talking about is Cade Cunningham. and how the Pistons are bringing back the basketball that they like. They're getting that attention. They're not talking about the Knicks. Nobody's talking about them except for these fools on the internet. Now, if you live in New York, cool. No problem. Like, All Ball TV is the best to ever talk about it. But these dudes don't know what they're doing. And now those problems are coming full circle. And yeah, everybody jealous. All these other teams, they're getting jealous because the Pistons are getting talked about now. We're getting all the attention. We #1 in the league, and they still trying to downplay it. Well, y'all ain't proved nothing yet. Y'all ain't did nothing in the playoffs yet. You got to win a series at least. I mean, dog, can we get there first? We still in the season, dog. It's crazy. The Knicks fans was all talking about, man, wait till I don't even care about the regular season. Wait till them playoffs. Then they win against the Spurs. Yeah, you see what we did? Thought the regular season don't matter. It's wait till the playoffs. But I get it. It's when y'all win a game. So tonight's going to be a big night. They got to play the Raptors. And it's like, well, they always beat the Raptors. Well, what the hell? I'm betting on the Raptors. Hell with it. But I want us to lose to Cleveland. I want Cleveland to get this one. We got to drop one to Cleveland. Just so Cleveland can be ahead we need them to be ahead of the Knicks. Just because I want the Knicks to lose. That's just the way it is. That's how I see it. Now, back to Bron. LeBron James and his love affair with himself. You know, you're stuck in a situation where he has to make himself look good. So in order for that, it's got to be harder for him. Oh, yeah, it's got to be harder for LeBron to do it. It wouldn't make sense. If it's not harder for LeBron, you know, he don't want to hear that it's easy for him. All the rules they made.
That wasn't AI? Byron Scott really said that? You heard me on?
Shannon mad as hell.
Byron Scott really said that publicly?
That's what he said. Yeah, he was on his podcast.
Yeah, I mean, that's crazy. And obviously, maybe I doubt that Byron Scott would really feel that way, or maybe he actually does, because LeBron is not the same LeBron of old. But saying that he needs to leave LA and Luka just be the only person there that is somewhat consistently outside of Austin Reeves makes no damn sense. So why is LeBron being the one that's being called out from Byron Scott when all the other issues that even Ray Charles can see that they have going on with the Lakers right now?
I don't know. I think the thing is, I don't know when this started happening that guys from an organization, great guys from an organization, would all of a sudden call out guys that's currently within the organization. And maybe this is a Kobe thing. LeBron was never really accepted, even though he really revitalized the Lakers organization. I don't care what anybody says, and I think the fans understand. They know that. Right. They know what the Lakers were Kobe the last 3 years. And when Kobe left, they know what the Lakers were. I don't know what is this?
Right.
What are we talking about? If LeBron doesn't come, the Lakers are not selling for $1 billion.
Right.
You're not going to be able to get Luka because you don't get AD. AD is not coming to LA.
See, here's why Shannon Sharp should just talk football. Shannon Sharp if they don't get LeBron James, they get Kawhi Leonard and Paul George. They were going to be fine. Okay? They would have been just fine. And they would have built the team up and they would have dominated the very first year. Kawhi was coming from Toronto. He came right into the Lakers organization and fit in. Now, that's what was going to be the plan. Paul George was coming in. They were never getting Anthony Davis on their scene at all. They were going to play 1 year with them. They already had Zubac on the team. So it had been Kyrie, Zubac, and who was playing great with the Lakers. They was giving them rebounds, everything, and they got rid of him. So they already had him there with Paul George, and the players they had, Brandon Ingram still on the team. You had Lonzo Ball. You definitely would have made a run. The Lakers would have been fine. And the Lakers was always high earning team with merchandise, everything. So I don't know what he mean, like he saved the Lakers franchise. No, they got back in the playoffs, but when Kobe was out most of those years. He played like 6 games in one season. So he really didn't play 20 years. He played like about 17, and he was injured for about two years. He played 6 games. He was out for the rest of the year, came back, played like maybe 40 games. His body was never going to be the same. So they have to understand that. Well, they don't have to, but it's a good thing to understand that part of the game. And the element is that these are the Los Angeles Lakers. Even the Knicks, they haven't been shit in 53 years. But yet they said they one of the top selling teams every year because those town and bridge and tunnel people own all the tickets at the Gardens, and they charge a fortune and they make more money in merchandise sales. So the Knicks, as trashy as they didn't fall off. And they've been trash for years. They trash now. And they try to promote this trash. It's funny. My buddy told me the other day, he's like, man, why they keep showing the Knicks? Like, he has no idea, what's going on with the rankings and everything else. Because he's a Bulls fan. So when the Bulls are losing, he can care less. He just stopped watching the games. So he was like, man, I was watching the Bulls. They were down 30 in the second quarter. I just turned it off. And he was like, so he don't know what's going on. He just happened to bring up, like, man, what's going on with the Knicks, man? I was trying to watch their game. They are terrible. Why do they keep trying to show these? Every time I look around, they put them on television. Why are they doing this? I was like, they want to promote New York now. They want to promote the Knicks. He's like, but why? And I was like, I'm glad you're saying this because you have no bias whatsoever. You're saying this genuinely as a casual fan. And why are they doing this? Exactly. He's confused, just like the rest of the world should be confused. Why the hell are you promoting this? This is bad basketball 101. I'm not going to take the worst team in my league and try to promote it and say, hey, look at this. It's like putting a sparkly bow that glow in the dark or whatever on a piece of shit, on some dog shit on the street. Let me just put a bow on it. Look at that. So it's the same thing. And LeBron is the product of that. This is what we got to thank for LeBron. We have to look at garbage teams like the Knicks, who try to make a role player, a bench player, a superstar, mega superstar of the league. It's like, where do we do this at? Where the bench player is the mega superstar. Crazy.
Mm-hmm.
It's just I don't know what LeBron did to piss so many great players off.
Yeah.
Oh, he didn't. No, he didn't.
Yes,
I get it, Ocho. And a lot of times we talk about this on the show all the time, Ocho.
Mm-hmm.
These guys currently in the NFL get privileges and things we didn't get, but
Right.
I don't begrudge them because we got things in the 90s and 2000s that guys in the 70s and 80s didn't get. And they
right.
got things in the 70s and 80s that guys in the 50s and 60s didn't get.
Right.
It's this thing called evolution. The game grows, the game evolves, and people get more things. It's
Right.
okay. But this
Shannon Sharp, here's a question I got for you. And I want the whole world to hear this, and I want y'all to hear this. When have you ever heard players from the 90s hate on players from the 70s, 60s, 80s? Didn't happen. Players from the 80s, did they hate on players from the 70s, 60s, 50s? They didn't do that. The 2000s, I never heard them hate on the 90s, the 80s, the 70s, the 60s. I didn't hear any of those. In the 2010s, this is when that trend started to come. In the 2010s, they started to hate on the 2000s, saying they old heads. They don't know what they talking about the game. And these guys are like 4 years older than these guys, or maybe 5 years. Dude's like, I'm only 5 years older than you, dude. The hell are you talking about? I'm an old head. So this stuff started to come through the LeBron James Miami Heat era, the excuse making. There was never a chance or a time where we praised losing. Oh, they lost. What a game. We lost. We don't even think about you. It was an absentee thought. They don't care about the losers. They only care about the winners. Unless you've done something in that game that was so magical, like Isaiah Thomas, game 6, his performance in that game. And people would think we won that game because we should have won. But they couldn't allow us to win because of Vegas. So they called a ghost foul because the Lakers had to win the championship. That's why I like when Isaiah went up there and he took 88 championship. Like, this is ours. This is ours. They stole it from us. And they did. They stole it because they had to. Now, the whole thing about this matter. What's up, Claude? So the whole thing about this whole matter and everything that's revolving around it is very important because I want people to understand something. What Shannon Sharp is saying is so wrong. He doesn't understand that the older players didn't hate. Whenever it was their era, their time, you never heard Jordan, Isaiah, and them dumping on Wilt Chamberlain. Oh, Wilt wasn't nothing in their era. You wasn't going to hear that. You won't hear Barkley, Hakeem, nobody in their prime playing time was talking about them. And they keep saying that the old people talking about the young people. No, it's the older heads, Shannon Sharp, that are responding back to the younger generation who keep talking about them. They got to defend their damn era for no reason. They Hall of Famers. This man is responding back to LeBron James saying their era was easier. And what they're doing is harder than what it was in the 80s. And Byron Scott is like, you full of shit. You don't know what it was like in the 80s. And no, only a fool would believe that. But why are you, LeBron James, the face of the league, right, on your way out the door, is talking about the 80s? Why don't you talk about your era? Talk about the era you're in. Don't go back to the past to try to justify why people don't like the game you're playing now. That's on you. It was on your watch that all this happened. So that's the problem, Shannon Sharp. Because this is why football should be your topic, because you don't know what you're talking about here. You're looking at it all wrong.
This notion that LeBron James is the only one that's ever had power within an organization. Mm-hmm. Do y'all realize that a man won a championship and Magic had a falling out and he says it's either him or me? And Dr. Buzz fired the coach that won an NBA title.
Yeah.
That happened. Larry Bird did the same thing. It happens. But for some reason, anything that goes wrong, that is the reason why. That's right. What free agency was meant to do. So you mean to tell me you want free agency and then want guys to stay? If that was the case, what was free agency for? What was free agency for, Ocho, if guys are not going to move around?
Yeah.
I get it. Team will trade a player like it's nothing. Don't perform in what they do.
Free agency was never the topic at hand, Shannon Sharp. What the hell are you talking about? This man, the topic was, and what Byron Scott was saying was he was upset about LeBron saying today's game is harder than it was back in the 80s. That's the problem he had. He's talking about they can't play 82 games. He's trying to come up for an excuse why he can't play. Now you talking about free agency. Now you going all off the board talking about stuff Byron Scott ain't never talked about. What is you doing?
Even if you do perform, if they think they can get better, they'll move you.
Yeah,
but now players say, you know what? I think it's going about as far as it can.
And I can't carry no more. Yeah.
But LeBron, there have been a lot of guys that's moved, but nobody has caught the criticism. And LeBron James has never asked for a trade. Every time LeBron James has moved, Ocho, he's played his contract out. He played his contract out in Cleveland. He went to Miami. He played that 4 years out. He went back to Cleveland. He played that 4 years out, and he headed to L.A.
And none of that have anything to do with Byron Scott's comment. I want y'all to hear that. That had nothing to do with what Byron Scott actually said. None of it. None of this has any relevance whatsoever. And now, all of a sudden, we get LeBron making a threat to Byron Scott. Yeah, he actually threatened him. In the coward way that he does, because you know the man's a coward, what does he do? He goes out of his way to move in a way that he likes to move. And what way would that be? Making threats. But of course, he don't do it himself because he's too much of a coward to do it himself. See, those type of guys, they have their own way of moving. Mm-hmm. What's up, KB? He said absolutely nothing. Yep, had absolutely nothing to do with the conversation. So now this man takes a whole different approach and goes down a rabbit hole of, well, we got to go and we got to do this now. It's like, do what? What could we possibly do different that we didn't already do? No, we got to go through what so-and-so said. Who was so-and-so? Oh, let's go get our minion. You see, you know what? I forgot the guy named the Arenas guy, what he used to always do and say. He used to always go into a frame of mind of, we need to go in this route, we need to do this, we need to do that. But he wouldn't say it to you. He would go say it to another person about you. He's one of those type of individuals. He don't have the courage to say anything to your face. What he wants to do is something entirely different. Mm-hmm. Yeah, he want to say it to you differently. Because what Kevin Garnett said was the truest thing to form. And if you guys just got here, I've got to let you see that one more time for KG, because it's so passionate with KG, because he's played this game and gave it so much.
Talking about the lack of calf raises for some of the players to end their workout. Bro, we used to end a workout, especially on a leg day, calf raises. This is how I'm speeding up, this is how I'm stopping, this is my whole wiggle. If your calves ain't here, and on top of whenever I go to finish, I gotta be athletic enough to finish, right? Bro, when you start breaking that down,
like this is what Ticket talk about, that they out of shape. We practiced every day. We went up and down every day.
Like a game.
Like a game. So we 5-on-5 pretty much the whole season.
With drills.
With drills. And so now they come in and they doing a lot of individual work.
With a trainer.
You know, so a lot of our shit was game speed. Right.
With a trainer.
And then in the summer.
At half speed.
Right.
For 30 minutes.
Right.
And then they're gonna go play a 2-hour fucking game and think they gonna play.
In the summer, we played ball.
Ball,
like, we played 5-on-5.
For 7 hours.
In the summer, they individual work every day.
For 30 minutes. With one trainer.
Yeah.
And think that's gonna be the same shit. Like, what are we talking about here? Bro, motherfucker do a whole workout an hour by himself. I come in here, it's 5 niggas in one workout doing 30 minutes. Bro, this is not the same shit, bro. No. Then he gonna go run Red Mountain and try to kill himself.
Yeah, that's why I wanted to bring up. Ticket, you had a pretty, memorable.
I got to guard a Tracy McGrady. I got to guard a real nigga in fourth quarter, and I'm tired of my legs done. How do I simulate that? I got to go play against people like this, and then I got to take my body and try to kill it. Because when you, listen, I'm going to tell you something. This is what them motherfuckers don't tell you about game 4 or game 5 or game 7. When you in mud and they come down to LO and they call in a triangle, you got to stop LO from get Lloyd, and I'm stuck in mud and my legs ain't even, and then, you know what I'm saying? Like, and then I get to the huddle and 3-4 niggas is falling out. Motherfuckers don't want to play no more. Like, bro, you can't simulate this. This is the foxhole you in. So you try to put yourself in simulate. He would go to, what's the dunes you go to?
Oh, yeah, the dunes over there in Manhattan Beach.
I'm going to the opposite dune where it look like a whole mountain. He doing that when I'm doing this one. We both talking shit about what it take to get to the top. He talking about how he threw up. I talking about how I threw up coming down. He threw up on the way up. Like, Lord, who training like this? And why y'all training like that? Guess what? We get to the fourth quarter, we looking fresh. We dapping. Yeah, nigga, you remember that?
Right.
Yo, what you nigga, let's get him in. Like, you know what I'm talking about? You feel what I'm saying? So that's what we doing.
So KG feels like is the training of the players. And I agree to some degree with that because
that's 100% the reason. 100% the reason. Whenever you doing something and there's a lack of injuries, a lack of something, that's what it's going to look like. That's what it looks like. But as far as criticizing the game, nobody criticizes anybody like these younger players. This younger, entitled NBA ungratefulness, they disrespect those who come before them. Older players, they don't talk about the younger players. That's not what they do. They say, well, hey, I hope they do. Michael Jordan, them, they never was talking about penning them and saying they ain't this, they ain't that. They never, when Kobe and Shaq was winning, you never heard Mike dumping all on Kobe and Shaq. They weren't saying nothing about them. All of this started in this LeBron excuse entitlement era in the 2010s. And once it started to go up there, nobody started all this. Now you got to have an excuse for why you lost. Now there's an excuse for everything and why this losing actually matters. It don't care. Nothing matters. Participation trophies. Just for showing up, you're getting a trophy. Everybody's getting a trophy. Then what the hell we playing for? All of this happened, and they make you not want to compete. They make you feel like all I got to do is show up. I'm going to get a trophy anyway. They take away everything that you were supposed to be striving for. He said it's the role players. The majority of them. But what you're seeing is a lot of them, they're turning out something bad. Like you see them and you're like almost amazed. Like, man, what's going on around here? LeBron is the face of this. And what does he do? He engulfs right into it, and he started talking about the guys in the 80s. So the old school guys start talking back. Magic Johnson had to speak up when he had to address Anthony Edwards. You know, like Anthony Edwards talking about them, and then they asked them about it, and now they got to talk about them. So they was like, man, the old school's always hating on the youngsters. No, they're not. They don't really care about you. To begin with, you're not what they want to talk about anyway. You talking about the old school and disrespecting what they actually went through, and they looking at what you doing right now, and they just like, this bull. If I was playing in this shit, ain't no way. This is way too easy. Like they played this game, they know it in and out. They know how easy it is. You can't tell them how hard it is when they looking right at it. They played this. This ain't the same game, old man. We played with a much faster tempo. We just showed you the highest scoring games were in the 1980s. So what is he talking about? Pace. You did not, those 1990s and 80s Denver Nuggets teams were the fastest paced team in the NBA history. They will run up and down the court and you couldn't catch them. So, and they wasn't shooting threes. So the points was going in and over the everything you've ever seen. Still to this day, the record is the Pistons and the Nuggets, 1983, December 13th. And after all this scoring they got in the league, that still ain't changed. There's a reason for that. So now, here's what I said. LeBron James want to respond, but he know he can't really respond as himself because he would look like a hater. So Byron Scott said his ass should be off the team. And the whole Laker nation is like, man, Byron Scott said LeBron should be out of here. So they can just worry about developing the young players. After this season, he should just go. And they was like, oh, that's going to strike a nerve with LeBron. A former Laker, great Hall of Famer say something like this. Not going to sit well. Sure enough, LeBron can't say nothing. So what does he do? He got to send a minion. So who is the minion?
It's not even close. I just thought it was laughable coming from one of the greatest to ever play the game. He's responding to LeBron James saying that the game has changed. Your thoughts, Rich Paul?
On the eras? I mean, you know, I think everybody's going to be biased to the eras that they played in. You know, I know what it looks like. I can't tell you what it was like because I never played, you know, in an NBA game. But I think coming from someone who has actually played and has played in multiple eras, I don't know about the word laughable. You could. There's a way where you could disagree with somebody without it coming off as what I would say would be offensive.
Disrespectful?
Yeah, disrespectful. Yeah, exactly. Disrespectful. There's a way that you can say things without it coming off as disrespectful. And actually, that's going to lead me into my get rich quick. Respect, in my opinion, is one of those foundational pillars. And I think respect is something that you should lead with as a human. Every human should lead with respect. And especially when someone has earned that either through their productivity or their character. With that being said, and I think for me, I was always taught to respect my elders, to respect everyone, but definitely to respect my elders. But then, you know, some days I sit there and I think and I see things and I'm like, but what about when your elders do things or say things that actually warrants disrespect? And it's been a lot of that going on, but then that's a very slippery slope because when you get to the position that we are, Max, you're in, I'm in, we've got here, we work very hard to get there, and others have too. You got to be very careful because you get to a point to where you can say things or do things that knock you off your square. And also in that case, if you're knocked off your square, then that means you've been tricked out of your spot. And if you're tricked out of your spot, what happens is you can say or do something that looks or feels good in the moment, but looks foolish and probably is foolish and lives foolishly forever.
So you heard Rich Paul, and his response turned the argument and the question around to kind of go after Scott.
Yep. And he went right after Byron Scott. Didn't you hear that? This might affect, might have some backlash on what it is that he's doing. What they doing is sending them a threat like, oh, that podcast show you got? Well, LeBron's media company might get involved and start shutting that down. You didn't peep that? I peeped it. That was all threats. You know, you got to get through the stumbling and the stuttering of the man that's supposed to be representing clients in negotiations, and he could barely put 5 words together. Man, that was hard to listen to. Just him try to explain something that was very simple. He would, it's problematic when you see it. And you think that man is negotiating contracts? You think he's sitting there with general managers negotiating deals? You must be a fool. This is why I told you I wanted him to do this show. I wanted him to be doing this podcast right here with Max Kellerman. I said, that's what I want. I want y'all to see, because y'all don't believe it. This is why this fool never was doing interviews before. Now his ego done got out there because he's dating Adele. Now he feel like I could talk. No, you can't. You a dummy. You are a puppet on a string. And that's how they play you. I told you, the more when they start sticking a microphone in front of this fool's face, the type of nonsense coming out, he trying to remember every word that he memorized. And this is what I call a situation where, you know, it might not be so good because my client need like 10 million a season, and we ready to take the deal. I'll be like, oh no, bro, you can't represent me. I need an agent. Somebody give me an agent, a real one. This got to be a joke. This is why I told you the white guy did all the deals. Rich Paul never did any deals. He never negotiated any deal for LeBron James. Now, why do you think they partnered with UTA? Now, that's why he got time to podcast. He ain't got nothing to do, because he never did anything in the first place. And they had to settle with the guy out of court. Rich Paul been sued, and they settled out of court for every damn thing because he's a fraud. He is a hustler and a crack baby. So, you know, it ain't his fault he's messed up. He's a crack baby. His mama was on crack. His daddy knocked up the mama and was running around in the streets with all his hoes. He owned a store, and in the back, he just be running hoes in there in the back room. His mama be doing, she'll lead him they were kids. She'll lead him in the house and be gone for days. She'd be at the bar doing drugs and going out, doing whatever she wants. Then his grandma came and got custody. The dad wanted to try to save him, and he wanted to try to get custody of him. But the sister was like, she wanted to stay there with mama. And the sister got burnt by some grease. I mean, dude, this is the truth. This is life. This dude was on here snitching. They got so mad I was talking about it. They put in a takedown order for me to take down the audio and all that. I'm like, oh, wow, really? Just for this? Oh, yeah. Today been a very revealing day. We didn't reveal the whole lot that's going on here. Yeah, it's a lot of goofiness going on in the world. So we had to get a lot of stuff done. So you gonna see, we ain't through with Gil by far. This next one, he ain't gonna like this one, because somebody else has just exposed the business, and it went over everybody's head except for mine. And when we drop that video, it's already done. Oh, yeah, it's already done. Everybody gonna see what's up with old silly Gilly. Now, all right, after seeing that, people could say, okay, Rich Paul, you can see what he's doing.
Look at it in that new little car.
But let's take a side. Look at Gil. He done bought Melly a Porsche.
Oh, what's up, baby?
What's up?
Want to keep up from leaving.
You see my car?
I see your car.
You see my car?
Mm-hmm.
Do you like it?
Yeah.
You're gonna drive it?
No.
No?
I'm not gonna drive it. What am I gonna drive it for?
Now, here's the thing. Underdog supposedly paid for the car. And from what I heard, it's her car. She paid for it. But Underdog, all the money Underdog giving her, she not even on the show. She not even on the show. Now let this sink in, people. If I'm Rashad McCants, if I'm Kenyon Martin, all these people, I gotta show up and do 3 some odd hours a day on the show. I gotta do that. Y'all calling me up to do that. I gotta do this on the show. And somebody who ain't even on the show doing no work is on salary. They get paid. And they getting paid good. Well, they driving a Porsche. And I got to come in here for hours a day, get abused. Well, they can't go nowhere now. They got a Zoom. So now they got a Zoom. They paying her to stay home. Why NBA players stay there every day? Right. So now, thanks to Gilbert Arenas, putting her on staff, making up a title, Underdog just cutting the check to her. Nobody knows what it is that she do. Whatever title he created, they just running some money to her. So Gil don't gotta pay her. But he paying anyway, because it's supposed to be the money they're earning. And now it's when the budget ain't right, and then you got people that's mad and upset, and they're gonna be like, well, where's the big bag? Is Underdog finna pay that big bag? Especially for somebody that ain't there. So they cut out Lexi and they cut out Cheryl Swoops, but they kept Melly. 2 people that was on the show, and the one person that ain't never been on the show is cut off. What she do? Bring some fruit down from the kitchen? Some water bottles? And she's supposed to get more than the people that's on the show? I don't think that's fair. She bringing Gil down some watermelon. She's serving Skip. So she was happy she went and got this car. Gil acting like he went out and bought it for her. That's not what happened.
Because it's your car. Now I can get my car back and blast my music how I like.
Whatever.
Oh, see?
Turn down. Look at the car. You got to do something. Don't touch it about
GT4? RS? RS?
Oh, that car sound a little too loud. Don't let me get back on the phone with HOA. Don't let me get on the phone with them again. I already showed you the HOA and the rules. 10 p.m. to 7 a.m. Quiet time. That means no noise. They tell you when you got to be quiet, Gil. 10 p.m., your ass better be in the house. Nobody outside. No noise. That's the quiet zone. I'm going to put all of the HOA's rules that they got, that Gil got to follow. That's going to be on my Patreon. See, here's the word on the street, right? They won't Gil out the neighborhood. They really want him go. He's never been to one of their meetings. He's keeping up a lot of fuss with this podcast thing, and they don't even want him starting back up over there. They just saying, look, they was really mad when the feds came over there and cuffed him up. That was really good. The neighbors really didn't like that. Then you got all this traffic over here. Cars, violations. They don't want you there. They want you to move. Yeah, he got the junkie living in the guest house. Oh, yeah. That's what I'm saying. He the one paying for a junkie to live in the guest house. The guest house, I'm like, the junkie acting like he making a fortune over there. I'm like, dude, you living off Gil's generosity. What's going to happen when he go to jail? Use his wife as a shield, everything.
Boom! I got shot in the ass.
And what did he say? I got shot in the ass. Then shot him in his ass.
Where the money at? Boom! I got shot in the ass.
I got shot in the ass. Right where he wanted to get shot. He gonna be taking a lot of shots in the ass when his ass go to prison. You better get used to it, boy. Yep. Yeah, Gil, I heard you going to jail, man. But I'm going to tell you what, man. Watch the movie Get Hard. With Kevin Hart in it. Yeah, watch Get Hard with Will Ferrell. Get your workout going on, man. You get prepared. You get prepared. Actually, get prepared, man. Tighten up. Keep your butthole tight, man. Squeeze it tight. Start doing some squats and dips. Tighten up. Get them butt cheeks tight. Oh man, they gonna break Gil in the first day. He gonna break. He gonna need solitary confinement. Gil was out. I knew I was going to get fucked in jail, so I picked the biggest, strongest guy in there and be like, look, only you can do it. Nobody else. I'll let you. But you got to keep those other Negroes off me. Deal? Oh, man. Scared straight. Oh, they gonna scare him straight already. Believe me, he's scared as can be. Right about now. That boy's scared as hell. But right now, let's get into something else. Let's get into Cade Cunningham. I was gonna make this a whole nother video. But I said forget it. We might as well do it right here and now. We already live. So let's go on ahead and get the people what they want. Y'all don't mind if we do that. Because I want to get to that. Because Cade Cunningham, I'm like, whoa. He ain't playing no games. Remember, I told y'all when they canceled what Jalen Brunson was supposed to do this interview or whatever. They canceled that and they got Cade Cunningham. And I think this is where this jealousy is coming in at. And this is part of the problem. Oh, absolutely. I got a bot. Okay, hold on. Okay, we got him out of here. A bot sent by Clutch Sports. Yeah, coming in trying to spam. Now, why would that be the case? Now, why would they want to come over here? Now, let's get into something real. Let's get to Cade Cunningham. Because, oh, buddy, did this get good? Cade Cunningham came out and he called out Jalen Brunson, Shea Alexander, and every single one of these fools. And this is why they mad at Cade. Cade Cunningham
was absolutely insane. And we're going to jump into the quote because this was wild what he said. He said his least favorite thing in basketball is the foul baiting.
He called out the foul baiting. He said the referees have to get involved because we're baiting people in the fouls all the time. The flopping is just too much. What do you do with the best players that do it? 3 of the top 5, 10 guys in the NBA are doing it constantly. You gonna kick them out the game? You can't hack them. It's tough. If I win a championship, when I win the championship, I'm going to want the same type of whistle I want to be able to foul people, and they can't foul me. You have to ref the game for what you're seeing, not reputations or any other stuff. It doesn't get ref that way. Some people are better than others. I can sell a foul for nothing. I can't sell a foul for nothing. There's skills to it for sure. Oh, yeah. Cade has had enough. He's calling out Jalen flopping Brunson. Everybody know who it was. There's only one person it could be. Jalen Brunson and Shea. They're the top 2 foul baiters in NBA history. Like, hey, like, I don't even know how to do that. Like, how do they even do that act? Go in there and just start flopping. It's ridiculous.
For the tie, he missed.
You know what Knicks fans will say? Oh, he ain't no foul baiter. Brunson ain't a foul baiter. Look at him. He foul baiting right now. And there he go, number 15, his guy. He shoots, he missed, nobody's near him. Then he just stick his ass out to try to get a foul. Foul baiter. That's all he did. He said, where's my Bears championship hat? I just noticed. Do they not make any of them? You only Super Bowl video is on VHS. Cade ain't it. By the way, Brunson take 6 free throws. He should be taking 2. That's all he did to win last year in the playoffs was foul bait. It was ridiculous. Like Kay said, these guys aren't better than me. These guys are not better than me. They just get the whistle, and I don't. I don't get the foul calls that these bums get. But I'm better than them. And he's right. He's better than them. This is why Brunson didn't do the interview and Cade did. I think Brunson canceled and then Cade took over. They went and interviewed Cade. They got exactly what they wanted. That's exactly what they wanted. They exposed him the way he's supposed to be exposed. He has a history of it. It's what he does. You see Jalen Brunson, he's going to foul bait. It's the only way he knows how to be effective. When you're known for foul baiting, that's what they're gonna call every time.
Never been a ref. All I can do is play basketball. Yeah, I don't care not one bit. I can't control how the refs blow the whistle, ever. I've never been able to, never been a ref. All I can do is play basketball, and that's all I focus on.
I play by the rules. I'm not a foul baiter. I just play by the rules. Be disciplined on defense.
Foul baiting has become a huge topic within the NBA and its fans. Guys like SGA and Jalen Brunson are two top names that comes up during foul baiting conversation. And before them, James Harden was someone that people will talk about, even though during his run in Houston, people wasn't really calling it foul baiting then. They will actually praise him for being good at creating contact and getting to the free throw line. Now, foul baiting has become a term used in a negative light, but let's see how SGA and Jalen Brunson feels about their play style when it comes to foul baiting.
Does the narrative, do you guys have the special whistle bother you, especially on a night like tonight where the stats don't support that? I mean, they had 47 free throws to your 30. Like, what is kind of your thoughts on that? And has it reached a point where you just maybe blocked it out entirely?
Yeah, I don't care not one bit. I can't control how the refs blow the whistle, ever. I've never been able to, never been a ref. All I can do is play basketball, and that's all I focus on, trying to win games and championships.
What about you? I play by the rules. I'm not a foul baiter. I just play by the rules.
All right. Get your message across.
Be disciplined on defense.
Okay.
Yeah, okay. Because I was about to say that one move, bro. That one move, bro.
Don't reach.
Dribble and you just jump backwards for your jump shot.
Hold on. I don't jump backwards.
You don't jump backwards?
Go look. Go watch the film. I jump straight up. You're running full speed.
You know about that, Jay.
Hold up. Mm-hmm. When I'm going right, and the defender's on the screen, right, and you're supposed to trail or try to get back in front,
right.
If you're running full speed, right, I'm gonna shoot.
That's playing the game.
I'm gonna shoot, and if you foul me, you foul me. I'm not saying, I need to get fouled. I'm gonna see if there's contact, right, right, and then I'm shooting the ball regardless. I'm going to score.
I'm not the person who had this argument with you.
I don't know. I don't jump back. Jumping straight up versus jumping backwards are different.
I can get a sizzle reel going. You done jump backwards before.
You say what you want. all I know is that what? Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
So it's not this year. Okay, not this season. Okay, all right.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking about some of the playoff games with the Sixers.
I don't know. Is that the thing?
Okay, hold on. All right, hold on. The playoff game against Philly?
Yeah.
Y'all they were just fouling. They're just fouling. I mean, thinking
sound like excuse making to me. He just it's a classic move. Classic move to sit there and pivot away from it and make up excuses for him being a flopper and a foul baiter. Right, this is sad. It's pathetic. It's pathetic. And this is what Cade Cunningham is calling out. He cleaning up. He cleaning up the league from guys like this.
About it, right? I get it. All right, it happened a couple of times.
Right.
It kept happening over and over and over and over and over and over.
That was aggressive.
At some point, you get back. All right, I can't foul.
Let's talk about foul baiting. It's a term used for when players are trying to sell a foul. Sometimes players actually do get fouled, but then they act like they got hit harder than what they actually did to try to get a referee to call a foul, flagrant, or a tech. Other time players sometimes don't get fouled, get touched, or maybe they get a little bit of contact and then they fling their body in a way to make it seem like the defender actually hacked them. This isn't nothing new, especially when it comes to the NBA. Players like Chris Paul and LeBron James have been doing this for years. Some people look at it as a smart basketball play, while others look at it as a cheap move. Now, when it comes to SGA and Jalen Brunson, I think both of them do foul bait at times, but when you're a smaller or slimmer player, it's easier to be favorable on the side of the referee's whistle when you're attacking the basket, much more than when you're a stronger player like a Zion Williamson or an Anthony Edwards. I think both SGA and Jalen use foul baiting as a way to keep bigger and stronger guys honest when it comes to guarding them. Since hand checking has been illegal in the NBA, it allows smaller guards like them to be more aggressive when attacking the basket. They are basically using a rule change to their advantage. To me, it's nothing more different than when the NBA had added a three-point line back in the day. And now you got guys like Steph Curry, Damian Lillard, and James Harden becoming all-time greats for using a rule change to their advantage. I do think, though, that it is a little unethical when guys use foul baiting to try to get the referees to call a technical or a flagrant on a defender. But guys...
Now, do you agree with Cade Cunningham that these dudes are flopping way too much? And this is why he's here to clean up the sport? He's sick of it. I'm sick of it too. I'm sick of Brunson. He's a walking, breathing foul baby. Schroeder can't believe it. Look, he's like, yeah, I did it. Yeah. Why are you cheering and there's no foul? Like there's no basket, man. You cheering like you made a shot. All you did was get a foul on a guy. Foul baiting. Man, he can't believe it.
Right there, drawing a foul. Dominant and really
what?
Taking New York.
Brunson got his arm.
Out of anything.
Grabs his arm here. Grabs his wrist. He's still got his arms out like this. Brunson is holding the man's goddamn wrist. Dirty as hell. Foul baiting. This is what I told you about Brunson. Dirty player. This is why you got to cheat and be dirty, because he's not good.
They're trying to do.
Look, still
on the offensive
holding on to the man. It's ridiculous. Foul baiting.
Pleaded with his head coach. Challenge it.
Brunson runs into a defender, falls on the ground. Here comes another ghost whistle. They did it the entire playoffs because Thompson was shutting Brunson down, and they didn't like it. They got to showcase. He fell on his own.
Not sure.
He didn't trip.
Or if Brunson hadn't fallen there, a good defense, I thought, got impressive. This first time this year for me, seeing them live in person, the length they have them
trying to steal.
Yep. Look at this.
4-point lead for the.
He jumps into Tobias' head. This is how they won the series. Garbage. They cheated the Pistons out of it by giving this bum every foul bait in the world. It was disgusting. This is why they hate Jalen Brunson, because he's not a hooper.
gotta respect Cunningham.
Put the ball in the basket.
But you also had two other people that averaged 20.
Oh, wow. These dudes are doing a show? I didn't even know that. Oh, well. He's a legend. Yeah, a legendary flopper. I'm glad what they said. I'm glad, bro. I'm glad. Oh, 100%. I think All Ball TV talked about it.
So we can blame Mike Brown. We can bring back Thibodeau all we want. Are they going to put the ball in the bucket? Like, come on, bro. We got to start keeping it real, dog. We said after 6 games, we like the team we got. Y'all remember that? Fabian, was we up here going crazy? It was the chat with that and what I was saying. Remember, 6 games in, we won 8 in a row, but after the 6, we like the team we have.
Whoa. As far as what? We ain't like them for a championship. We ain't like none of that. We said, remember, Fleet's big time. I don't know about this Mike Brown guy, new system. I was saying, hold up.
We know that already. You know what I'm talking about.
What are we talking? Oh. You trying to you going back to the
No, I'm going to what Carr has been consistently saying. He's correct, but as you're consistently, complaining and saying that Mike Brown is the problem, you're inconsistent with your play.
I don't think, but oh boy, you said some shit that nobody said. Maybe except my bad. I don't know your damn name, but you on WFN, you got a good job. We're just gonna shout you out in your radio station. Has anyone taken the leap this year on the Knicks? Because we know somebody has on the other team. And you said chickens coming home to roost, old ball?
One legitimate thing that concerns me. And I'll never forget a year ago when the Knicks were playing the Pistons and we were talking about the series, I made a comment to Tommy Lugauer. I said, look, I think there's going to be a day where Cade Cunningham passes Jalen Brunson. And I said, I got a great idea. We picked a date in 2030. And I said, on that date in 2030, you're going to come back on the air and we'll debate Cade Cunningham versus Jalen Brunson, because I think there's going to be a moment where he passes him and we're all going to agree he's the better player. Last night, and really in the head-to-heads that we've seen between Jalen and Cade, you're starting to fear that the best player on the court in a best-of-7 series between the New York Knicks and Detroit Pistons is no longer Jalen Brunson.
Yes.
Cade Cunningham is added to his bag. He's 24 years old. He gets to the free throw line a lot more than last year. He still struggles to hit threes, though not against the Knicks and not against them this season. And more importantly, what Cade did last night, as much as I'll minimize the game, and maybe many in the audience will minimize the game, that was a big game for Cade Cunningham. That is a big game for the Detroit Pistons. They are trying to send the message. And Cade Cunningham gave us a little example that he's not afraid of the moment.
No.
And what would put a little bit of fear in me is that last year when they played, the best player on the floor was Jalen Brunson. Even in the Celtics series, as good as Tatum was before he got hurt, there was a sense of the best player on the floor is Jalen Brunson. Cade Cunningham continues to take these steps and have these moments that makes you start to wonder, is Jalen Brunson going to be the best player on the floor in a best-of-7 series?
Yeah.
And that is a pendulum change.
The chat is saying he is a Knicks hater. I don't even know who that guy is, respectfully.
All I can tell you is that dude was right. The writing's on the wall. Everybody knows it now. Cade Cunningham is the one. Imagine being Cade Cunningham. And you see somebody like Brunson. Right. If I seen somebody like Brunson and let's say if I seen Jalen Brunson there and all of a sudden I'm Cade Cunningham and I see Jalen Brunson and I know I'm better than him, and this dude is getting all the accolades and the people. I'm like, come on now. This is part of your problem. You got him and his punk ass daddy there. Yeah. Is that what you think? Mm-mm-mm. No, I don't really like him that much. No. I'm done with Brunson. Mm-hmm. I'm just so glad Cade decided to call him out. To me, that was the best news of the day. You call out Jalen Brunson, you can write your own ticket. Because the general public knows already. It's over. Ain't no need to mask it. No, he foul baited them home. And if you Cade, you're going to be fuming. And you can't wait to see a guy like that in the playoffs. The goal is to destroy the Knicks. Burn it all down. That team will never beat us again. Not that team. That team is inferior. Yeah, well, that's what the last team said. Well, everybody keep thinking this is the Brunson of last year. It's not. No, not really. Oh yeah. Well, y'all don't have a real garden. The real garden is Boston. Y'all tried to make that. We got the garden. The garden, that's Boston garden. That's the garden.
Tell y'all something. All you'll ever hear all ball talk about is heading to 55th and watching these games at the Rucker. That's all you ever hear. And even Kyrie broke it down when he was in the 313. You part of you got Professor X Powers here too, brother? Huh? We see what your man said. Cade Cunningham in the mix. He ain't playing. He's quoted as saying the flopping is just too much. 3 of the top 5 to 10 guys do it constantly. I know I'm better than yada, 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 but I'm not getting the same calls. People feel like this guy might be better than me, and he's nowhere near better than me. God damn. Hold up. I thought it was really cool that people started appreciating my game in that way. I'm like, man, I know I'm better than yada, yada, yada. Not naming any names. Jalen Brunson, Luka Doncic, or a few of the NBA's elite incessantly pleading to the officials. I don't get the same respect from the refs. I'm not getting the same calls. So people feel like this guy might be better than me, and he's nowhere near me. Woo. Hold on. Oh, boy. Let me tell y'all something. All you'll ever hear all ball talk about is heading to 55th and watching these games at the Rucker.
He's nowhere near me. He's nowhere near me, Ro. He's nowhere near me. He called out Luka too. All of them. He's nowhere near me. He talking about Shea too. All of them. Better than all these dudes. He better than all of them. And he calling it out. If I got they calls, I don't think the Pistons ever gonna stop booing Bumpson. But let's see it from Knicks Rehab. Don't forget to follow All Ball TV.
That's all you ever hear. And even Kyrie broke it down when he was in the tournament from the 90s, getting the and one shit. And he was like, bro, when you go through that park, that shit is different. That shit is different. You go to Rucker, bro, that shit is street ball. No, if you ain't ready for that, do not step on that court. If you ain't ready for no rough football arena style, don't step on that court. Cade Cunningham has a football mentality, my brother. And that's one thing. The only caveat I got for him on ball, when you're talking about leaving Jalen Brunson right now, he just hasn't done it in the playoffs yet. When we say do it again, he can do it again really, really soon. He's about to be in the MVP conversation on ball, but kid is 6'7". Oh, ball. The kid plays like he's 6'7". He don't play like Shea. He don't play like John Moran flailing. He's right. I can't say he's right. He ain't flopping the whole ball.
That comment from Cade Cunningham, I can't be a fan because I'm a Knicks fan.
Right.
But I can't be a fan. I'm a Knicks fan. But I just gained a whole nother level of respect for him. That right there is real nigga basketball talk. We know Kobe Bryant, God rest his soul. Remember, y'all, we got to put together the real nigga basketball squad, right?
Yeah.
Coach, assistant coach, starting 5, and then 3 guys coming off the bench. We already know Kobe is the player coach, right? Cade Cunningham just became part of the real nigga basketball organization. I love what he said. And let me take it a step further. That's how we want Jalen Brunson to sound. That's what we're looking for in Jalen fucking Brunson in moments like this. That's what we're looking for. That's why Detroit Pistons is playing out another level, because their number 1 guy has that attitude and that mindset. I'm better than these niggas. Y'all want to complain and flop? Go ahead. Going up you niggas' chests. You see how he went up Bridges' chest yesterday? Like he wasn't even there. Cat jumped out his way when he went up with the left hand dunk in midair. Cade Cunningham, at this point, in that rivalry with the Knicks, is what the NBA is missing. You need bravado and confidence like that, especially if you can back it up. How long have we been saying the NBA is missing a rivalry? This Detroit Knicks thing is going to be great for the NBA. Now, of course, you know, the playoffs, the regular season games need to be more competitive, right? But in the playoffs, we already know how that shit is going to be. But I love what Cade said, because he's 100% correct. He doesn't get the calls. He doesn't. And I don't think Brunson gets the calls like Luka, like Shea, like Joker, right? But I love that soundbite from him. I love that attitude and that mindset from a young player like that who 2-3 years ago, including me, lost confidence in.
Now, what does that tell you, Ro? You see all ball, tell you the truth. What does that tell you now about your Jalen Brunson, the foul beta? What that tell you about him now? Your fellow Knicks brethren calling the Knicks out for being soft. He said the last time the Knicks won, Rakim was coming up with a master plan. Longer than that. I'm always correcting all ball. I don't think so. Because they just said something real. That's something real Knicks fan know. Brunson's a foul baiter. He don't have that toughness. He's soft. Oh, yeah, it's over. So don't forget to hit the like button up. Go to my Patreon. We loaded the Patreon up for y'all. And I'm glad we was able to do this video here and just make it one video so everybody can get it. And we'll probably chat later on. We'll do a panel or something. Let me go ahead and get ready for the games. All right, I'm out.